My name is Dr. Chuks. I'm your Forex coach and instructor. So today I just want us to look at GBPUSD currency pair because I saw some interesting pattern that formed from this currency pair. So I decided to analyze this market for you guys, okay? All right, this analysis is going to be real. What I mean is that you can put real money, okay, in this setup because I've been on this for over 2 weeks now. 2 3 weeks trying to look at the best way to attack this market. Okay, all right. So guys, now this is technical analysis, guys. Okay, um, those of us who trade fundamentals, I trade fundamentals, but I use fundamental for my directional bias. Okay, and when you look at what is happening in that space, fundamental space, I mean, you will see that every news and information that have been flowing out of the fundamental source has been supportive of this market structure, okay, of this technical pattern that you can see on this chart now. Okay, the technical pattern, it's a wedge pattern. However, the wedge pattern indicates that the dollar had been strong, has been resilient, has been strong against the Great British Pound. Okay, now what that means is that despite the resentments from trade partners, from the U.S. trade partners, the dollar has continued to show resilience, show strength, okay, and against the Great British Pound. So you can see that for the past, okay, if you look at here, for the past, couple of years, okay, over 2 years, the dollar has remained, superior in terms of strength over the Great British Pounds. And that's why you see this chart showing a downward wedge structure, that shows that the United States dollar have been, has strengthened over time when compared with the Great British Pound. Okay, so now if you look at it, if we continue to look at this fundamental perspective, you see that price is currently at the resistance level of price action. Okay, now, and that is why I drew this small rectangle here, this small cycle here, to show us where our focus will be on price action. Price has continued to show some level of respect for structure, and so at this point we expect that respect that price has for structure to continue to hold. And if that happens, then we'll be able to get a clear direction of where the market will go, in the coming days. Okay, so on the weekly chart, you see that the market has been in favor of the dollar. Okay, the pound has been dropping significantly, over time, but price is currently at a key level of resistance. We expect this key level to show its strength where the bears are. Okay, the bears will continue to show their strength, in this market, because they have held sway, for in this market for a very, very long time. Okay, and I expect that trend to continue, and if it does, which means we're going to have a clear direction on which way to trade this currency pair. All right. So now let's zoom in on this chart pattern, on this cycle that I drew here. Let's zoom in on this so that we can see what price is showing us. We can see what the candlesticks are communicating to us. Okay, so let's go to the next tab and zoom in on this chart. Now, when you zoom in on this chart, you can see that we have seen a pattern in this market, and the pattern we can see here. I'm sure some of my students who are good at chart patterns will tell you that this is a double top pattern. A double top pattern is a chart pattern that shows the strength the bears has been exerting on the market. Okay, so if you look at it, you see that we have double top pattern here, and what that double top pattern means is that when price touched structure here, or got to this structure area of resistance here, it met a some sort of opposition from the from the bears, and they pushed the market down again, and the market rallied up again to structure it, and the bears showed what their resistance as well, here, because what this candlestick here is telling me is that the bears rejected the bulls from pushing the price up and from maintaining it up, and the price dropped further. So, and that's what we have seen in this market that has made this, chart pattern a very interesting, signal, point for every trader to look very critically into. So now, what do we do next? Haven't seen what we've seen a bearish wedge pattern, okay? And when we zoomed in on that wedge pattern structure, we saw that it was indeed a bearish reversal pattern, what we call the double top pattern. We call it double top pattern, or you call it the M pattern, okay? And what that means is that there is a sustained pressure from the bears stopping the bulls from exceeding certain key levels in the market. All right. So now, if you continue to analyze this market, you will see where you can find an opportunity to enter the market. Okay, so let's go down to the next tab. And when we go down to the next tab, okay, when we go to the next tab, we'll see price action unfolding in the market. Okay, price action unfolding. So now you can see the double top pattern has continued, to resist price going upwards. And that is the advantage we're going to take in this market. For me, this chart pattern has clearly given us an edge in the market for us to trade in the direction of structure. All right. So now we're going to zoom in on this chart. Okay. We're going to zoom in on this chart and look for entry opportunities. We might not enter from this time frame, okay, but we'll look at the possibility of doing that if we can't find a very good setup from the 4-hour time frame. We'll look for other time frames to to enter the market. Okay, so what the market is doing now is that the market has left a key level. I want to delete this, guys. Let's delete this. The market has left far away from the key level. But if we zoom into this chart, you see what I was telling you earlier on. I said the bears have continued to show resistance. Okay, they have continued to show rejection. Rejecting the bulls from taking this market beyond this structure level. And so, for me, that's an instructive signal. The signal is quite instructive. Now, having gotten to this level, what do we do next? Guys, that is the next question. So, but if you look at this chart pattern, you see that if you look at this price action, you see that the market has gone far away from the premium price, okay? From where you can enter the market. Okay, if we have met this chart pattern here, or sorry, this candle pattern here that suggests that the bears have stronghold in this market, we would have entered a short trade and perhaps be looking forward to taking profit at this level. Okay, this candlestick pattern here is what we call the bearish engulfing pattern, and the bearish engulfing pattern is a very, very powerful engulfing, a very, very powerful candlestick pattern that I trade as a technical trader. Okay, now if you also zoom in on this chart, you see another double top intermediate pattern that this market is showing, telling you, kind of re-emphasizing, the strength that the bears have brought into play in this market. Okay, so the market has gone far. We have to look for a very good point of entry. Okay, a point of entry that will give you an edge in the market. That's what we're going to look at for now. Okay, now you can look for horizontal key levels, okay, or you look for trend line key levels. Okay, whichever one you're good at, just explore it. But I'm going to use trend line here. I'm going to use trend line to look for opportunity where we can enter this market. And again, if you look at this, you see some micro pattern forming from this candlestick setups. Okay, I can see a what I call head and shoulder pattern. Okay, This is the left shoulder, this is the right shoulder forming at the moment, okay? So if you understand how to trade chart pattern, you'll be able to take advantage of what we're seeing in the market here, and you trade this, this currency pair, to profit, okay? Now, if you also look at market structure, you'll see that the market is making series of lower highs and lower lows, okay? Lower highs and lower low. This lower high, low high, lower high, lower highs, and here we have the lower house. So the market is coming down. So what I can do here is that I can set an entry strategy, for the market here. But if you think you can drill it down further, you do that. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame and see if we can see an opportunity. Okay, let's go to the 1 hour time frame, guys. Okay, now what is the 1 hour time frame giving us, telling us? You see that the market still has what room, a lot of room to the downside. There's still a lot of room to the downside in this market. Okay, so I am going to short this market because from the higher time frame, I've seen a bearish structure, and so I have every good reason to short this market. Okay, so I'm going to use my trend line, to dimension this market. Okay, all right. So I will do this. Okay, so I want to see a break down this trend line, then a retest, then I'll enter a short trade. Okay, so guys, that's how you're going to trade this market. Okay, that's how you're going to trade this market. You wait for a break. Okay, the waiting is part of the trading. Okay, you have to wait. If you didn't come here on time, to enter the market when the market was showing some important signals, okay, for you to enter, or value signals for you to enter, you have to wait because the market will come back and give you an opportunity. Okay, so that patience is virtue in trading. You have to have patience when you are trading. It's part of psychology of trading. And if you want to be a very good trader, a profitable trader, you must learn how to be patient. Okay, learn how to be patient. So I'll wait for this market to give me the next what, the next setup. Okay, I want to see a setup in this market that will tell me to enter the market. And let me show you what I mean, guys. I want to see something like it happen. Break of this structure. I want to see a break of this structure, retest of the structure, and I will take it to the downside. Okay, I'll take it to the downside. Now, where do I target as my take profits? I will target this level. All right, target this level. Okay, I'll target this level as my take profit. Okay, okay. So, and if you look at it, you see that this level is a key level, but at least the market, you can see here, if you zoom in on this market, you see what I'm telling you. Okay, you can see price came here, bounced off, came back again, bounced off again. So that level is a key level, and I can even call it what? I can even call it a resistance level, a support level, sorry, okay? I could call it a support key level. It's a support key level, okay? Key level. So this is where we will look forward to taking our profit. Okay, and so you can actually call it your TP level as well. Okay, your TP. Okay, all right. So guys, this is how you should trade this market. Okay, this is how you should trade. Wait, remember you're on the 1 hour time frame. Remember you're on the 1 hour time frame. So the market can move fast. So we have to wait for what? We have to wait for, sorry, a friend is calling me. So you have to wait for price action to print out. You have to wait for the right setup. That's what I mean. Wait for the right setup. And the right setup is we want to see a break of structure, a retest of structure, then we take the market to the downside towards take profit. Okay? So that's how we are going to trade this market. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments to make, please drop them below. If there's anything you don't understand, please chat me up on WhatsApp or on the on YouTube. I'll be glad to answer you and give you my perspective about this setup, okay? All right, guys, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it, share it with your friends, okay? And I'll be glad you did to support this channel. Thank you very much, and do have a blessed trading day. Bye-bye.